Hi, this is Bonnie from Mom by Example, and I'm continuing to talk about developing confidence and responsibility in children through doing chores. I wanted to talk today about specific chores for specific age children. I had 4 children at the time, 4 sons, that I developed this system. I sort of read books and listened to people and came up with my own system, and it took a long time. It took months to develop a system that worked for us. I went through 8 or 9 systems. Then I came up with this system, and it's been working ever since. I divided up our chores into daily chores, weekly chores, and then seasonal. The daily chores I divided up into 4 main areas that needed the most work. One was a kitchen helper. They helped me plan the meal, set the table, clean up, cook. That required the most work because that was 3 times a day. I had a laundry helper that we did laundry every day, just 1 or 2 loads a day. And the 2-year-old, 4-year-old, and 6-year-old obviously needed help with that. The 8-year-old got caught on to that really quickly. And then the third person was the cleanup person. Before lunch, before supper, before bedtime, they'd be my helper cleaning up. Now, everyone was responsible for their own items, but things other than specific people's items were always out of place. Maybe sofa cushions, could be a blanket on the floor, maybe something the dog's toys. They were the general cleanup person. They didn't tell people what to do, but they were responsible with me to making sure the house looked picked up at least before lunch, before supper, and before bedtime. And the fourth job you may not have a need for, but that was called our rugs person. Living on a farm and coming in and out all day caring for animals left our outside and inside rugs into our mudroom really dirty. So before lunch, before supper, and before bedtime, that person was responsible for sweeping the rugs, sweeping the patio, making sure the mudroom wasn't too dirty so that dirt wasn't carried in throughout the whole house. But I started having my children do chores when they were just 2. About 2, a little before 2, a little after 2, when they would ask, they would beg, Mommy, can I help you? And I think if we say no too long, they'll stop asking. But if they think that they're a part, they're helping Mommy, they think it's fun. Some of the things I came up with were, I had just a regular milk container that I cut the front off, and I would put just a 1/4 inch of water in the bottom, a 1/2 inch with a sponge. If I was in the kitchen, they could wipe down the front of the stove, the refrigerator, they could wipe the baseboards. If they spilled their whole container, which they usually did, it didn't take more than a small towel to clean it up because there was so little water in it. But it was soapy, their hands stayed clean, and they really had fun. They could wipe the bottoms of the chairs, they could do a lot of things. In the bathroom, I would have them clean the front of the refrigerator, the bottom area around the toilet. They could even use this to start mopping small areas, and they loved it. Another thing that I did for the real young children was I got them a feather duster, a real ostrich feather duster, and they could just dust. The feathers are so lightweight that it doesn't disturb anything. I don't believe in moving things from tables. I leave things on the table so they could still dust around little knickknacks and things without breaking anything. It was great for dusting baseboards. Something else, and I took a lot of the pieces off the handle. These little sweepers that they use in restaurants to keep the carpet clean. There's no cord, there's no battery, it just has a brush on the bottom. This is a Bissell. Dirt Devil makes one too, where the handle comes apart so you can make it there we go. You can make it longer and shorter, and I would take all the pieces of the handle off except the bottom piece, and they would have a sweeper that even a 2-year-old could use. This is only about 2 feet high, and a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old can actually use it on a carpet, push it back and forth, and it actually picks up the dirt. I would give them dust cloths, sponges, feather dusters, this carpet sweeper, and as they got older, then they were given jobs that they could handle with more responsibility. But to start with a 2 or 3-year-old is a great idea because they learn that it's just part of what they do. It can be fun. We would put music on the radio, or we'd put CDs in and we'd be dancing away and cleaning. And it's a lot of fun. So I'm going to make another video talking about older children and their responsibilities.